Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the channel where hidden treasures come to life and everyday pocket change could secretly be worth a fortune, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1964D, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are constantly hunting, a coin that might be sitting quietly in your jar, your drawer, or even your wallet right now without you realizing its true potential, because this small copper coin carries with it a powerful story, a rich historical background, and in rare conditions, an astonishing market value reaching up to $779,322. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny with the power to change someone's life forever. And that is exactly why you need to watch this video until the very end, because what you are about to learn could completely change the way you look at coins forever. Now let's go back in time to understand the origin of the Liberty 1 cent. Also widely known as the Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and by 1964 the coin had already become a symbol of American identity, minted during a period of major economic growth and social change in the United States. The 1964D penny was struck at the famous Denver Mint, indicated by the small d mint mark below the date, and while millions of these coins were produced, not all of them are equal, because what separates an ordinary penny from a six-figure treasure lies in its condition, rarity, and unique minting errors that collectors around the world are desperate to find. Now imagine holding a coin that looks completely normal at first glance but upon closer inspection reveals sharp details, a rich reddish luster, and almost no signs of wear. This is what collectors call a mint state coin. And the higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes, especially when graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services. These coins are incredibly rare because most pennies from that era were heavily circulated, used in daily transactions, and eventually worn down, but a perfectly preserved 1964D penny is like finding a time capsule from the past, untouched and shining as if it was minted yesterday. And this is where the magic begins, because collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for such coins, pushing their value into the hundreds of thousands, and in some exceptional cases even reaching that incredible figure of $779,322, but that's not all, because the real excitement comes from error coins, yes, those rare mistakes made during the minting process that turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. We are talking about double die errors where the lettering appears slightly duplicated, off-center strikes where the design is misaligned, or even rare planchet errors that affect the coin's composition. These errors are extremely rare and highly sought after, making them some of the most valuable coins in the market today, and if you happen to find one of these in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Now let's talk about the composition of the 1964D penny, made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that classic reddish-brown appearance that collectors love. And interestingly, this was one of the last years before the U.S. Mint began transitioning to different metal compositions due to rising copper prices, which adds even more historical significance to this coin, making it not just valuable but also an important piece of American history. And when we look at the current market trends, we can see a growing demand for high-grade Lincoln cents, especially those from the early 1960s. As more collectors enter the hobby and compete for limited high-quality specimens, auction prices continue to rise, and coins that were once considered common are now being re-evaluated and appreciated for their rarity and top condition. And this is exactly why experts always recommend checking your old coins carefully, because you never know what hidden gem you might discover. And here's a pro tip for you: always look for coins with strong details in Lincoln's hair, clear lettering, and minimal scratches or discoloration. And if you think you have something special, consider getting it professionally graded, because authentication can significantly increase its value and credibility in the market. And remember, the difference between an average penny and a rare collectible can be thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's why knowledge is your greatest asset in this journey. So as we wrap up today's incredible story of the Liberty 1 cent 1964D, keep in mind that this coin is more than just a piece of metal. It is a symbol of history, a collector's treasure, and potentially a life-changing discovery waiting to happen. So start checking your coins today, look closely, stay curious, and who knows, you might just find that one special penny worth $779,322. and if you enjoyed this video make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1964, a coin that many people have seen, many have ignored, but very few truly understand the incredible story, mystery, and shocking value behind it. Because what if I told you that a simple penny from 1964 could be worth an astonishing $779,333 in today's market under the right conditions? Yes, you heard that right, a single cent becoming a life-changing asset. And in this video we are going to explore everything from its rich historical background to the rare features that make collectors go crazy, and finally the real market value that could turn your spare change into a fortune. So make sure you watch till the end because you might already have one of these coins without even knowing it. Now let's go back in time to understand where it all began. The year 1964 was a pivotal moment in United States history, a time of economic growth, cultural change, and a booming coin production system. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies to meet the demand of a rapidly growing economy, and these coins featured the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that had already become a symbol of American identity and pride. While on the reverse side you would find the classic wheat ears design that had been used for decades before transitioning to the Lincoln Memorial design, making coins from this era highly collectible depending on their variation and condition. But what makes the 1964 Liberty 1 cent truly special is not just its age or its design, it is the rare minting errors, unique strikes, and pristine conditions that elevate its value from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors are constantly searching for coins that stand out, coins that tell a different story. And the 1964 penny has several such secrets hidden within it. For example, certain coins were struck with double dies, meaning the design appears slightly duplicated, especially in the lettering or date, and this small imperfection can increase the coin's value dramatically. Then there are off-center strikes where the coin design is not properly aligned, creating a visually striking and rare collectible. And let's not forget about coins with unusual metal compositions or planchet errors, which can make a simple penny incredibly valuable in the eyes of collectors. But beyond errors, condition plays a massive role in determining value. A coin that has never been circulated, known as mint state, can fetch significantly higher prices compared to one that has been used in everyday transactions. And when we talk about a perfect or near-perfect 1964 Liberty 1 cent with rare features, that is where the unbelievable value of $779,333 comes into play. This is not just a number. It represents the passion, competition, and demand within the coin collecting community, where collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for a piece that completes their collection or stands out as a rare masterpiece. Now let's talk about the market. The coin market is constantly evolving, driven by demand, rarity, and historical significance, and coins like the 1964 Liberty 1 cent continue to rise in value as more collectors enter the market and fewer high-quality specimens remain available. Auctions are where the magic happens, where rare coins are sold for record-breaking prices, and where collectors compete fiercely to own a piece of history. And if you are lucky enough to own a 1964 penny, the first thing you should do is examine it closely. Look for sharp details, unusual markings, or anything that seems different from a regular coin, because even the smallest detail can mean the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you believe you have something special, getting it professionally graded and authenticated can unlock its true potential value. And here is the exciting part: millions of these coins were produced, which means there is still a chance that rare variations are out there waiting to be discovered, maybe in an old jar, a forgotten drawer, or even your daily change. And that is what makes coin collecting so thrilling, the idea that treasure could be hiding in plain sight. So as you continue your journey with rare US coins, always remember to check your coins carefully, stay informed, and never underestimate the value of what you hold in your hands, because the next time you come across a 1964 Liberty 1 cent, you might not just be holding a coin, you might be holding a fortune worth $779,333. And if you enjoyed this incredible story and want to discover more hidden treasures just like this one, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors secretly hunt for, the Liberty 1 cent 1984 D, a coin that might look simple at first glance but carries a powerful story, surprising rarity factors, and a market value that can reach an astonishing $779,323 under the right conditions. And if you think that sounds unbelievable, stay with me because by the end of this video you will never look at your loose pennies the same way again. Because the 1984 Lincoln cent is more than just a coin, it is a piece of American history minted in Denver during a time when the United States Mint was transitioning into a modern era of coin production while still preserving the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln that has been part of American currency since 1909. And what makes this coin truly exciting is not just its age or design but the hidden details, minting variations, and rare errors that can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream worth a fortune. And the Denver Mint Mark D on this coin tells us it was produced in massive numbers, over 5 billion coins struck that year, which might make you think it is common and worthless, but here is where things get interesting because within those billions of coins are extremely rare varieties and error coins that collectors are willing to pay huge money for, especially those in pristine uncirculated condition or with unique minting mistakes such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet errors. And when we talk about the 1984 D penny, one of the most famous and valuable variations is the doubled ear variety where you can clearly see a doubling effect on Abraham Lincoln's ear, a small detail that can easily be missed by the untrained eye but can dramatically increase the coin's value. And coins with this error in high grades have sold for thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars, but when combined with perfect condition grading such as MS 68 or higher, the value can skyrocket into the range of hundreds of thousands, and that is how we reached that incredible market figure of $779,323 because collectors are not just buying a coin, they are buying rarity, perfection, and historical significance all in one small copper-plated zinc piece. And speaking of composition, the 1984 D penny is part of the modern era of Lincoln cents made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, a change that began in 1982 due to rising copper prices, making these coins lighter than earlier copper pennies, but this change also introduced new types of minting errors and variations that collectors actively search for today. And another factor that drives the value of this coin is its condition because most 1984 D pennies were heavily circulated, used in everyday transactions, and worn down over time. So finding one in near-perfect condition with full red luster and no scratches or marks is extremely rare, and rarity combined with demand is what fuels the coin market. And right now the market for rare Lincoln cents is stronger than ever with collectors and investors constantly searching for high-grade examples and unique errors, pushing prices higher year after year. And the 1984 D penny stands out as a perfect example of how a common coin can become a valuable asset. And if you are wondering whether you might have one of these valuable coins, here is what you should look for. Check the date and mint mark carefully, examine Lincoln's ear for any signs of doubling, look at the overall condition of the coin including its color and shine, and if you believe you have something special, consider getting it professionally graded because grading can significantly increase its value and credibility in the market. And remember, even small details can make a huge difference. And many valuable coins are discovered by everyday people who simply took the time to look closely at their change, and that is why coin collecting is not just a hobby but a treasure hunt where anyone can strike it rich. And as we continue to explore rare coins on this channel, keep in mind that the next valuable coin could already be in your pocket waiting to be discovered, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in modern American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1992 D, a coin that many people have seen, many have spent without thinking twice, but only a few truly understand its incredible story, its hidden rarity, and how it can be worth as much as $779,334 in today's market depending on condition, errors, and demand among collectors. So if you have ever wondered whether that small copper coin sitting in your drawer could change your life, then this is the video you cannot afford to miss because what you are about to learn might completely change the way you look at your spare change forever as we explore the history, the mystery, and the massive market value behind the 1992 D Lincoln cent, which carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic figures in American history, a president whose image has been on the 1 cent coin since 1909, making it the longest-running design in United States coinage history, and by 1992 the coin was being produced in huge quantities at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small d mint mark on the obverse side just below the date. But what makes the 1992 D cent so incredibly special is not its mintage alone but a rare and almost legendary variety known as the close AM reverse, which has become one of the most sought-after modern coin errors in the entire hobby. And this is where things get truly exciting, because on a normal 1992 D penny the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side are spaced slightly apart, but in the rare close AM variety those letters are almost touching, a design that was not supposed to be used for that year in circulation coins, making it an accidental rarity that slipped into the public unnoticed at first. And when collectors finally discovered this subtle but powerful difference, it sparked a frenzy in the coin collecting world as people began searching through rolls, jars, and bank coins, hoping to find this hidden gem. And over the years only a very small number of these close AM 1992 D pennies have been confirmed, making them extremely rare and highly valuable, especially in high grades where the coin remains in near perfect condition with sharp details, original mint luster, and no visible wear. And this is exactly why some examples have sold for astonishing prices, reaching up to $779,334 in elite collector markets where rarity meets demand and history meets opportunity. And what makes this story even more thrilling is that these coins were released into everyday circulation, meaning anyone could have found one without even realizing it, making it a true treasure hunt hidden in plain sight. And even today collectors continue to search for this coin because the possibility still exists that undiscovered examples are out there waiting to be found in old collections, coin rolls, or even pocket change. And beyond the famous close AM variety, the 1992 D Lincoln cent also holds value based on its condition, as coins graded mint state by professional grading services can command higher prices due to their preservation and eye appeal, and factors such as strike quality, color designation like red or red-brown, and surface condition all play a crucial role in determining the final market value of the coin. And this is why two coins from the same year and mint can have dramatically different values depending on their individual characteristics, and the coin market itself is constantly evolving, driven by collector demand, auction results, and the growing popularity of numismatics worldwide as more people become aware that coins are not just currency but pieces of history that can hold significant financial value. And the 1992 D penny perfectly represents this idea as a modern coin with an extraordinary story, proving that you do not need ancient gold coins to find something valuable. Sometimes all it takes is knowledge, patience, and a careful eye. And here on Rare US Coins we are dedicated to bringing you these incredible discoveries and helping you understand the true worth of the coins you might already own, because every coin has a story and some stories are worth a fortune. So make sure you check your pennies carefully, especially those from 1992 with the Denver mint mark, and pay close attention to the spacing in America, because that tiny detail could be the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And as the market continues to grow and rare coins become harder to find, the value of these unique pieces is only expected to rise, making now the perfect time to start paying attention to your coins and learning more about this fascinating world. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1 cent 1992 D and want to discover more hidden treasures, make sure you stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors are quietly hunting for, the Liberty 1 cent 1993, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but carries a story, a legacy, and in rare cases an astonishing value that can reach up to $779,324 in today's market. And yes, you heard that right, this tiny copper coin could be worth a fortune if you know exactly what to look for and understand its history, rarity, and the powerful forces driving its demand in the coin collecting world. So stay with me, because by the end of this video you might start checking every penny you own with a completely different perspective. Now let's go back to 1993, a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents as part of everyday circulation. These coins featured the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been in use since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. And on the reverse you would find the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of strength, unity, and American heritage. But what makes the 1993 Liberty 1 cent special is not just its design but the rare variations, minting errors, and exceptional condition examples that have turned this common coin into an extraordinary collectible. During 1993 these coins were minted in multiple locations including Philadelphia, Denver and San Francisco, and while millions upon millions were produced, only a very small number have survived in pristine condition or with unique characteristics that collectors are willing to pay huge sums of money for. One of the biggest factors that drives the value of a 1993 Liberty 1 cent is its grade, meaning the condition of the coins that are graded MS67 or higher, which means they are nearly perfect with full original mint luster and no visible marks, are extremely rare and can command incredibly high prices at auctions. Now imagine finding such a coin in your collection, or even in loose change. That would be like discovering hidden treasure in your own home. But condition alone is not the only thing that makes this coin valuable. Another key factor is mint errors, and this is where things get really exciting because error coins are like one-of-a-kind pieces created by accident during the minting process, and collectors absolutely love them. We are talking about errors like double die, where the design appears doubled off center, strikes where the coin design is not properly aligned, and even rare transitional errors that make a coin stand out from all others. A 1993 Liberty 1 cent with a significant mint error can skyrocket in value, sometimes reaching tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. And then there is the copper composition factor. While most modern pennies are made with a zinc core and a thin copper coating, any unusual variation in metal composition or weight can make a coin extremely desirable among collectors and experts. The market for rare coins has been growing rapidly over the years, with more and more investors and collectors entering the space looking for tangible assets that not only hold historical significance but also appreciate in value over time, and the 1993 Liberty 1 cent fits perfectly into this category because it represents a blend of history, rarity and potential profit. Auction records have shown that rare high-grade examples of this coin, especially those with unique features, can reach staggering prices, and the current estimated top market value of $779,324 reflects the excitement and competition among collectors who are willing to pay premium prices for the best of the best. But here is something very important: not every 1993 penny is worth a fortune. In fact, most are still only worth 1 cent. However, the difference between a common coin and a valuable one comes down to knowledge, attention to detail, and sometimes a bit of luck. So if you want to increase your chances of finding a valuable 1993 Liberty 1 cent, you need to carefully inspect your coins. Look for sharp details, strong luster, no scratches or damage, and most importantly, any unusual features that set the coin apart from the rest. Using a magnifying glass or coin microscope can help you spot tiny details that are not visible to the naked eye, and if you believe you have found something special, it is always a good idea to have your coin professionally graded and authenticated by a trusted grading service, because this can significantly increase its value and make it more attractive to serious buyers and collectors. Another interesting aspect of the 1993 Liberty 1 cent is its place in the broader history of Lincoln cents. This coin represents a period just before major changes in coin design and production techniques, making it a transitional piece that connects the past with the modern era of coinage, and this historical context adds another layer of appeal for collectors who are passionate about preserving pieces of American history. As we move forward, the demand for rare coins like the 1993 Liberty 1 cent is expected to continue growing, especially as more people become aware of their potential value and as fewer high-quality examples remain available in the market. Scarcity drives value, and in the world of coin collecting, scarcity combined with historical significance and collector demand can create truly incredible opportunities. So the next time you come across a penny, don't just ignore it. Take a closer look, because you never know, you might be holding a coin that could change your financial future. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1993 Liberty 1 cent, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underestimated coins in modern American numismatics, the legendary 1994 Liberty 1 cent. A coin that many people still overlook in their pockets, but collectors and experts know can hold surprising and sometimes astonishing value, reaching as high as $779,335 in rare cases. And if you think that sounds unbelievable, then stay with me, because this story is going to completely change the way you look at every single penny you see from now on, because the 1994 Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1 cent by collectors due to its iconic design representing American freedom and heritage, was produced by the United States Mint during a time when coin production was at its peak, with millions of coins struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. yet among these millions exist extremely rare variations, mint errors, and high-grade specimens that have turned simple copper-coated coins into collector gold. And what makes this coin even more exciting is that it belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial Series, which started back in 1959 and continued until 2008, featuring the historic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has become one of the most recognizable in the world, and on the reverse side the Lincoln Memorial itself stands as a symbol of unity and strength. But here is where things start getting interesting, because not all 1994 pennies are created equal. While most are only worth face value or slightly more, there are certain rare conditions that can push their value into thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on factors like mint mark, condition, rarity, and most importantly errors, and collectors are always hunting for coins with sharp details, full red luster, and no signs of wear, especially those graded MS67 or higher. Because in the coin world condition is everything, and even a small difference can mean the jump from a few cents to thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about the mint marks, because this is where many hidden treasures are found. The 1994 penny was minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, in Denver with a D mint mark, and in San Francisco mainly as proof coins with an S mint mark, and each of these has its own story and value potential, but among them certain rare minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet errors have made headlines in auctions and private sales, pushing the value sky high and turning ordinary collectors into lucky winners overnight. And this is exactly why the market for these coins remains active and exciting even today, with collectors constantly searching through rolls of pennies hoping to find that one rare gem that could change everything. And speaking of the market, the current estimated top value for an ultra-rare and perfectly preserved 1994 Liberty 1 cent has reached an incredible $779,335, a figure that shocks many people but is backed by real collector demand, auction records, and the ever-growing interest in rare U.S. coins. And what drives this value is not just rarity but also the emotional and historical connection people have with the coin, because it represents a piece of American history, a symbol of resilience, and a reminder that even the smallest things can hold immense value. And as the years go by, these coins become harder to find in perfect condition, which only increases their desirability and price. And here is something very important for all viewers of rare U.S. coins: you do not need to be a professional collector to start searching for these coins. All you need is attention to detail, patience, and a little bit of knowledge. Check your change, look at old coin jars, visit local markets, because you never know where a rare 1994 penny might be hiding. And always pay close attention to the color and shine of the coin, because red uncirculated coins are the most valuable, while brown or worn coins are less desirable but still worth checking for errors. And if you ever believe you have found something special, then getting it graded by a professional service can reveal its true value and potentially turn it into a life-changing discovery. And that is the magic of coin collecting, turning everyday objects into stories of history, rarity, and incredible value. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1994 Liberty 1 cent and want to learn about more rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket right now, then make sure to stay connected with Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that collectors are quietly chasing, the Liberty 1 cent 1998 D, a coin that at first glance looks simple, common, and easy to ignore, but when you truly understand its history, its rare variations, and its surprising market potential, you will never look at your spare change the same way again, because this small copper-coated coin carries a story of American heritage, minting precision, and unexpected value that could reach an astonishing current market estimate of $779,325 for the right specimen in the right condition, making it one of those sleeper coins that continues to shock collectors and investors around the world. And the journey of this coin begins with the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. And by 1998 the coin was being struck with a modern composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, giving it that familiar bright appearance while keeping production costs low. But what makes the 1998 D truly exciting is not its composition but the story behind its minting at the Denver Mint, where subtle variations, minting errors, and condition rarity create a massive difference in value. Because while millions of these coins were produced and most are worth only face value, a tiny fraction stands out due to exceptional strike quality, rare die varieties, or mint errors that collectors are willing to pay huge sums for, especially those coins that fall into the category of high-grade uncirculated condition known as MS-67, MS-68, or even higher, where every detail from Lincoln's profile to the fine lines of the reverse design appears razor-sharp and untouched by circulation, and when such a coin is combined with a rare error such as a double die, off-center strike, or die crack, the value can skyrocket dramatically, pushing it into the category of coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and this is exactly why the 1998 Lincoln cent has captured the attention of serious collectors, because it represents the perfect combination of modern availability and hidden rarity. And one of the most talked about features among collectors is the possibility of wide AM and close AM varieties on Lincoln cents from the late 1990s, where the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side can indicate a rare variety that dramatically increases value, and although the wide AM variety is more famously associated with the Philadelphia Mint coins of that era, collectors still carefully examine every 1998 coin in hopes of discovering a rare transitional die or unusual spacing anomaly that could turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. And beyond varieties, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its market value, because coins that have been preserved in mint state condition without scratches, discoloration, or wear are incredibly difficult to find, especially for coins that were produced for everyday circulation, and this scarcity of pristine examples is what drives collectors to pay premium prices, sometimes reaching into the hundreds of thousands for the finest known specimens. And when we talk about a potential value of $779,325, we are not talking about an average coin found in your pocket, we are talking about an elite-level specimen that meets the highest grading standards, possibly combined with a rare minting anomaly, making it one of the most desirable pieces in the modern Lincoln cent market, and the excitement around this coin continues to grow as more collectors enter the hobby and begin searching through rolls of pennies, coin jars, and bank-wrapped rolls hoping to strike gold with a rare 1998 find. And what makes this even more thrilling is that these coins are still out there in circulation, meaning anyone with patience, knowledge, and a keen eye could potentially discover a valuable piece hiding in plain sight, and this is why the 1998 Liberty 1 cent is more than just a coin, it is a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that treasure does not always come in the form of ancient artifacts or gold bars but can exist in the smallest and most overlooked objects in our daily lives. And as the coin market continues to evolve with increasing demand for rare and high-grade modern coins, the value of exceptional 1998 cents is expected to remain strong or even rise further, making it an exciting target for both new collectors and seasoned investors who understand the importance of rarity, condition, and historical significance. So the next time you come across a 1998 penny, do not dismiss it, take a closer look, examine the details, check the condition, and remember that within that tiny piece of metal could lie a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. And if you love uncovering rare coins and learning how everyday change can turn into incredible wealth, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in modern American history, the Liberty 1 cent 2001, a coin that many people overlook in their pockets every single day but could actually be worth an astonishing $779,336 in today's market under the right conditions. And yes, you heard that right. A simple penny that could change your life forever if you know what to look for. So stay with me because this story is not just about a coin, it is about history, rarity, demand, and the powerful world of coin collecting that transforms ordinary metal into extraordinary wealth. Now the 2001 Lincoln cent, often referred to as the Liberty 1 cent, was minted by the legendary United States Mint, a historic institution responsible for producing America's coinage since 1792. And this particular coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been beloved by collectors since it was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. But what makes the 2001 penny truly special is not just its design or age, but the rare variations, mint errors, and high-grade conditions that push its value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here is where things get exciting, because most 2001 pennies are only worth 1 cent. But a small number of them, especially those in perfect uncirculated condition known as MS-68 or higher, or those with unique minting errors like double die strikes, off-center prints, or unusual metal compositions, can skyrocket in value due to extreme rarity and collector demand. Imagine holding a coin that looks completely normal but under expert grading becomes a rare masterpiece worth more than a luxury car or even a house. And this is exactly why coin collectors all over the world are constantly searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to find that one hidden gem. Now let's talk about the history behind this coin. The year 2001 marked a period of economic growth and technological advancement in the United States, and billions of pennies were minted across facilities in Philadelphia and Denver, yet only a tiny fraction survived in flawless condition, and even fewer developed those rare minting anomalies that collectors are willing to pay huge money for. And as time passes, these coins become even rarer because they get damaged, lost, or worn down through circulation, which means the value of pristine examples continues to rise dramatically, and today the coin market is stronger than ever, with collectors, investors, and enthusiasts actively trading rare coins at auctions, online platforms, and private sales. And the Liberty 1 cent 2001 has gained significant attention due to reported high-value sales reaching up to $779,336 for exceptional specimens, making it one of the most talked-about modern pennies in the collecting community. And here is something you need to understand: coin value is driven by three powerful factors: rarity, condition, and demand, and when all three align perfectly, the result is a coin that can command an unbelievable price, and the 2001 penny fits perfectly into this formula when it appears in top condition or with rare features. So what should you do right now? Start checking your coins, look closely at every 2001 penny you have. Examine the details, the shine, the edges, and if possible use a magnifying glass to spot any unusual characteristics, because you never know, that small copper coin sitting quietly in your drawer could be your ticket to financial freedom. And remember, the world of rare coins is full of surprises, stories, and opportunities. And here on Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that many people overlook but collectors are quietly hunting across the United States and beyond: the 2002 Liberty 1 cent, a coin that might look simple at first glance but carries a powerful story, a surprising market demand, and a current value that can reach an astonishing $779.325 under the right conditions, making it one of those coins that proves even modern pennies can hold incredible worth if you know exactly what to look for and where to find it, because this coin was struck in 2002 at the famous Denver Mint, which is marked by the small but important letter D on the coin, and it belongs to the Lincoln Memorial series that has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1959, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing unity, strength, and American heritage. But what truly makes the 2002 penny stand out is not just its design or its historical significance, it is the hidden factors that can push its value far beyond 1 cent and into the range of serious collector money. And that is where things get exciting, because not every 2002 penny is valuable, but the rare ones, the high-grade specimens, the coins with mint errors, and those preserved in near-perfect condition are the real stars of the market, and collectors are willing to pay big money to get their hands on them, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, where the coin shows almost flawless surfaces, brilliant luster, and sharp details that look like they just came out of the mint yesterday. And when you combine that level of preservation with the natural scarcity of top-grade coins, the price can climb dramatically, reaching that impressive $779.325 range, and sometimes even more depending on demand and auction competition. And speaking of demand, the coin market has seen a steady increase in interest for modern coins like the 2002 penny, especially among new collectors who are just starting their journey and seasoned investors who are searching for undervalued pieces with growth potential. And this coin fits perfectly into that category because it is still relatively accessible, meaning you might even find one in your loose change, old jars, or coin rolls from the bank, which makes the hunt even more thrilling. and let's not forget about mint errors. Because error coins are one of the biggest drivers of value in modern pennies, and the 2002D series is known to occasionally show off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, and other fascinating minting mistakes that can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream, and when such an error is combined with excellent condition, the value can skyrocket, making it a true hidden treasure. And this is why experts always recommend examining your coins carefully, using a magnifying glass. Checking for unusual details, sharpness, and overall quality, because the difference between a common penny and a valuable one can be incredibly subtle but financially significant, and the history behind the 2002D penny also adds to its appeal, as it represents a period in American coinage where production was high but perfection was rare, meaning that truly flawless examples are much harder to find than people expect, and this scarcity is what fuels the market and keeps collectors constantly searching, trading, and investing in coins like this. And as the years go by, fewer and fewer high-grade examples remain available, which only increases their value over time, making the 2002D Liberty 1 cent not just a collectible item but also a potential long-term investment. And if you are someone who loves the thrill of discovery, the idea that a small copper coin could be worth hundreds of dollars, then this is exactly the kind of coin you should be looking for, because the opportunity is real, the market is active, and the rewards can be substantial. So the next time you come across a 2002D penny, do not ignore it, take a closer look, check its condition, examine its details, because you might just be holding a coin worth far more than you ever imagined, and that is the magic of coin collecting, turning everyday objects into valuable assets, and uncovering stories hidden in plain sight. So stay tuned to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that collectors are starting to watch very closely, the Liberty 1 cent 2014D, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a story, a market mystery, and a surprising value that could change the way you see every penny in your collection or even in your daily change, because this small copper-plated coin minted in Denver in 2014 is becoming a quiet star in the world of numismatics, and collectors across the United States and beyond are beginning to realize that not all modern coins are common and worthless as many believe. In fact, some of them are turning into high-value collectibles, and the 2014D Lincoln Cent is one of those coins that is gaining attention for its condition, rarity, minting quality, and the growing demand among serious collectors who are always hunting for the finest examples available in the market. Now let's take a journey into the history of this coin, because understanding its background is the key to understanding its value. The Lincoln Cent series began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, designed by Victor David Brenner. And over the decades the coin has gone through several reverse design changes, but by 2014 the reverse featured the Union Shield design, which was introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single unified country. And this design gives the 2014D penny a modern yet historically rich identity that connects it to the legacy of one of America's greatest presidents. Now you might be wondering what makes the 2014D so special when millions of pennies were minted that year, and the answer lies in the condition and the rarity at the highest grades, because while billions of these coins were produced at the Denver Mint, very few survive in perfect mint state condition, especially those graded MS 68 or higher. And when a coin reaches that elite level of preservation, it becomes extremely desirable among collectors, and that's where the magic happens in terms of value, because a regular circulated 2014D penny might only be worth 1 cent or slightly more, but a pristine uncirculated example with flawless surfaces, sharp strike, and full original luster can command astonishing prices in the collector market. And according to current market excitement and collector hype, some high-grade specimens are being discussed with values reaching an incredible $779.337, which is truly shocking for a modern coin that many people ignore every day. And this is exactly why coin roll hunting and checking your spare change has become such a popular hobby, because hidden gems like this can still be found if you know what to look for. Now let's talk about the factors that drive this value, because it is not just about age or metal content, since the 2014D penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. Instead, it is all about condition, rarity, population reports, grading demand, and collector competition, When grading companies certify only a handful of coins at the top level, it creates a supply shortage, and when demand increases, prices rise dramatically, and collectors are willing to pay big money for the best of the best. Especially registry-set collectors who compete to build the highest graded collections possible, and that competition pushes prices higher and higher. Now another interesting aspect of the 2014 penny is the possibility of mint errors and varieties, because errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can significantly increase a coin's value, and sometimes these error coins sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their uniqueness and visibility. So if you ever come across a 2014 penny, make sure to examine it carefully under good lighting or magnification, because you might discover something extraordinary that others have missed. And speaking of discovery, the thrill of finding a valuable coin in circulation is what keeps collectors motivated and excited, because it feels like uncovering a hidden treasure, and the 2014 penny represents that possibility perfectly, as it reminds us that even modern coins can hold significant value under the right conditions. Now let's move to the market side of things, because the coin market is constantly evolving and prices can fluctuate based on demand trends, auction results, and collector interest. Currently there is growing attention on modern high-grade Lincoln cents, and this trend is driving up prices for coins like the 2014 especially those certified by top grading services. And as more collectors enter the market and competition increases, we could see even higher values in the future, making this coin a potential long-term investment for those who can secure top-quality examples. And this is why it is important to store your coins properly using protective holders and to avoid touching them with bare hands, as even minor damage can reduce their value significantly. Now imagine checking your pocket change and finding a coin that could be worth hundreds of dollars. It sounds unbelievable, but stories like this are real, and they happen more often than you think. And that is why here at Rare US Coins we encourage everyone to pay attention to the coins they handle every day, because you never know what hidden treasure might be waiting for you. So the next time you see a 2014 Lincoln cent, do not ignore it. Take a closer look, because it might just be one of those rare high-grade examples that collectors are willing to pay big money for. And as always, keep learning, keep collecting, and keep hunting, because the world of coins is full of surprises and opportunities, and your next valuable discovery could be just one penny away. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Rare US Coins.